this video we are going to test the Leatherman Rebar. So the Leatherman Rebar has 17 tools. The blade has a length of 6.1 centimeters. The closed length on this multi-tool is 10 centimeters. It has a weight of 191 grams or 6.7 ounces. The steel on this blade is 420 HC and it comes with a nice nylon sheath. So as I already said, I've been using this knife for about 2 weeks now. I did some carving and some just EDC tasks with it. Just stropped it. I'm gonna give it probably a new edge today, but you know, still very sharp. So just gonna test the knife a bit, or just show you guys how it performs. Here I have some cardboard. It goes through that just fine. So I have a very nice thin edge on this hollow grind. See, no problem at all. And for some paracord right here, goes through it without any problems. So 2 strengths. Very easy. So no tasks for this knife. And then a little bit of wood carving, the very small stick that I got myself here. Hopefully you can see that this thing really bites into wood. So that's definitely one of the areas this tool shines at. But the edge from Leatherman out of the box is okay, but it's not the best. So it could be thinner, but I mean it's not extremely thick, but it could be thinner. But it's sharp, and honestly, you know, for a multi-tool in this price range, it's okay. So now we're just going to do some feather sticking. This knife still, as I already said, has still a V-edge. So it's going to do feather sticking quite a lot better with the secondary convex, but just going to see how it does. So this multi-tool definitely can make a feather stick. The handle actually is quite comfortable because, you know, all the edges are rounded up, and you know the V-edge is a bit rough, so the curls are okay. You know, could be better with a nice edge on it. But in a pinch, you know, you can also do it with this edge. But you know, if you have, for instance, a big chopper with you, you know, you could use this as like a backup knife for your small tasks, and it will probably do that just fine. So now, gonna cut a bit of wood with the saw. I mean, this is just a small saw, but in a pinch, it's pretty nice. Also for some like small wood projects, you know, if you want to carve some stuff. Slipped out. So there you see, in a pinch, you know, you can cut through even a little thicker wood with this small saw. But I mean, I wouldn't want to gather firewood or something like this with this one. So now I'm just gonna do a little stuff with the file. So I'm gonna round off something. No problem, you know. And also in the woods, you know, I always like to, even tools like this, look at them, you know, for the bushcraft or outdoor capability. You know, this would make just great tinder, you know. So if you want to start a fire or something, great for that. So I just got a scrap piece of metal here. So let's see how metal file. So I'm just going to take off some steel. Yeah, I mean, works just as expected. All right, so we got some copper wire here. Just going to see how the pliers do. So there's no tasks for these pliers. Let's see how it does with the outer layer. There you go. No problem at all. We got a bit more testing material. No, I don't think we're gonna cut through this. Well, the stuff's harder than I thought. I think it's here's a bit thinner. Let's try this. Oh yeah, so look at that. So this right here, not really a problem, but the thickest steel couldn't get through that. So just gonna show you guys the screwdriver. So we've got a screw stuck in this piece of wood. Just gonna take it out. So there you go. Yeah, just like a regular screwdriver basically. So now we're just going to do a bit of work with the awl. I have only used the awls on the Victorinox knives. So this is my first time I used one on Leatherman. So just going to see how it does. Got a piece of wood here. I don't know, it's about a centimeter thick. And I'm just going to make a hole through that. Just gonna clean the hole up a bit. So there you go. No, but yeah, it's just for little wood projects. I don't know, let's say you're carving a spoon or something, and you want to make a hole in the end of the handle. Yeah, works pretty good actually. So maybe after all that work, you want to have a nice refreshment. Can the Leatherman Rebar open you up a nice bottle? Now we're gonna put a nice new edge onto this blade. I'm gonna put a thinner than this edge, secondary convex onto the blade. So just start on the 400, you know, to regrind it. First gotta find my angle. So the steel is very easy to sharpen. I mean, it's 420 HC. But sometimes with 420 HC, I feel like, you know, it's so soft that when you have a burr, it just moves around from one side to the other with like a swipe on the 2000 gritstone. It's very important that always when you're sharpening, inspect your edge the whole time. See, you know, especially when you're learning, to just see what you do. Right now, you know, I have to focus a bit more on the belly or the tip, and we haven't created a burr on this side yet, but it's very close to that. It should take me longer than I thought to create a burr. Okay. Focus a bit more on the belly. Right, this side. And so now we have a burr on the other side. And that side is pretty nice. So that's 400 grit. So now I'm just going to do the other side. Take the, or regrind that. Then we move on to 1000. And then we, I don't know, maybe we'll go strop then already. Keep it a rough edge. Maybe I polish it up, I don't know yet. With a rough grit, I like to focus onto like certain points of the edge or the blade. So sometimes you see me just like doing the start of the edge, and sometimes you know just the belly, and then I pretty much just like in between or the end I finish it up with like a swipe all the way across the stone. Okay. Right now I have to focus on the start of the edge right here. So you see that bevel right here is a little wider than this one part right here, and also here on the belly. So I'm going to focus on the belly part and the start of the edge. It's already looking better. Also, I mean, it's the first time sharpening this knife, and I feel like with every blade, you know, you get a bit more used to it with sharpening. So let's say I have my Aurora Scandi here. You know, I've sharpened that now, I don't know, 20 times, whatever, I don't know, 10 times, and you know, I've gotten a lot more used to that than this one because I'm sharpening this for the first time. So right now I'm just gonna pretty much done with regrinding the edge on both sides. Now just trying to create a burr. So yeah, that's for me like this is the sign that I'm done with that grit. Okay, now I have a burr across the edge on this side, so we can move on to the 1000 grit. the stone that I'm using, it's actually like the first ever dual-sided stone that actually works well. So you see a lot of like Chinese-made stones that have 2 grids, and normally, or in general, they are shitty. This stone is actually the first one I've ever experienced that has 2 grids in 1 stone, and actually is like very good. But I can honestly not tell you guys where that stone is exactly from. I got it from as a Christmas present like 2 years ago from a friend of the family. All I know is, made in Germany. I really just like to use this one, for regrinds, and I mean also just puts a good sharp edge onto blades, especially for regrinds, because I don't like to sort of use or mess up my really expensive stones with that. Last couple finishing swipes. Okay, I'd say that's about where I want it to be. So now I'm gonna move on, take ceramic. I like the 1300 grit, the ceramic rod, because it's a bit smoother than from a 1000 grit stone, but it's still not like a super polished edge. It's a nice in between. Onto the strop. Okay. So that's just the finish that you get from a 1300 grit. It's not like super polished. Slight polishing, but it's a little bit rough. So yeah, it's a new edge. As you just saw in that video, we not only have a much sharper but also much better looking edge on this multi-tool now. And the nice thing about a secondary convex like this is that it has more toughness than a regular V-edge. It's going to help the steel hold its edge longer, so you basically have more edge retention. And it's going to perform better with feather sticking, wood carving, any like wood related cutting tasks. And we're just going to show you guys sharpness here real quick. So I got a piece of paper here. No problem. Let's just real nice and sharp. Yeah, just as I wanted. The nice thing about the ceramic rod edges is, you get the edge real sharp and polished, but it still has quite a lot of bite to it, so it's going to perform very well with, like cutting cardboard or EDC tasks like that. So that's really nice. Sharpening this blade was very easy. It's 420HC, so it really does not take long. The problem with 420HC and sharpening that I have experienced is that because it's a rather soft steel, it can happen that the burr on the edge is just gonna like move around the whole time, especially when you sharpen the steel like that to a rough grit. That it's hard to get a really fine apex. But I think I got got a pretty good result out of this one. And I also would say that Leatherman probably has, like, one of the better 420HC heat treatments. So yeah, sharpening this knife was in general like pretty easy. So I personally really like the Leatherman Rebar. It's a rather light multi-tool, it's not that thick, so it goes right into your pocket. And also compared to like a Leatherman Wave, it's quite a lot smaller than that. And as for me here in Europe, I'm allowed to carry this multi-tool. The Leatherman Wave, for instance, I'm not allowed to carry in public. So that's also just a big plus for me. Then the price point of, I think it's about 80 euros right now. It's a good pricing in my opinion. I would have loved to see the blade in like S30V or maybe even MagnaCut. We have seen MagnaCut on the Leatherman Arc now, but even S30V would be much better than 420HC. But honestly, for a multi-tool, it's okay. The knife is for me like a backup knife. I'm always going to have some, like dedicated folder or fixed blade to this, so it's not that big of a con. It would have been nicer to see a better seal on this tool. So personally, I also went with the black version. Yeah, I just wanted to try it out. All my other multi-tools are satin. Till now, the coating has been holding up very good. There have been, a few scratches here and there. For instance, the pliers. See on the hat there's a little bit of that, on the side. But really, not a lot, so pretty positive with that. The colors are replaceable, which is very nice. Yeah, that's pretty much it. I really like the Leatherman, this Leatherman. I like Leatherman in general. Yeah, thanks for watching. See you next time.